holding on this time, 'cause it won't be long until you're mine. Sure as I've been waiting for your love, I can see the stars shine up above, telling me keep holding on this time, 'cause it won't be long until you're mine.
And we're back. Halfway through already today's GSL games.
This is the opposite of that Team League day where we were here until like midnight.
Here is what happens. I want you guys to understand this. Is like if you've been casting for 5 hours or more, actually 4 hours where you start to get there.
After 3 hours of casting in the GSL,
you went to this point where like you're like, well, I don't know what I'm saying. You're like, I'm just having to talk. I have to keep talking about things. And that we were at that moment where I'm like, Artosis is actually like saying something, but all I see is like, and then I'm like, it's my turn to talk.
That's actually what I was saying.
I see an overlord moving over here, and then I try to sound smart, but I can't because I've already been talking for 3 hours. And then it goes back to Dan, but Dan hasn't been listening because Dan was just trying to figure out something to say after that. So, but today will be very short and very easy. Actually, we've always had that talks with other commentators where it's like about 3.5 hours. I'd say they're like, oh no, I know what you're talking about. That's your breaking point.
It's difficult.
But today's like easy, man. It's like only been an hour, and we're already halfway through today's game. So sorry that today might be a short day, but
it might be.
Blame Nesty. Don't blame us, man. Don't blame us.
Blame Nesty and MC for being like the sickest monsters of StarCraft 2.
I hope I'm wrong with the PvP. I hope that it actually is.
Yeah, I'd love to see HongUn show us some really good play.
Yeah.
We'll see it. Maybe. I feel like there's going to be a bunch of 4 gates from MC, and he's going to pick it up 3-0, 3-1, something like that.
Yeah.
Might have one non-4 gate game. I'm
worried that I say
just 4 gate, man. HongUn's too abusive.
The first Stalker, Probe, and Zealot are actually just going to moonwalk up HongUn's ramp.
Just kill him.
Going like this, moonwalking in there.
They like get in there, and he has a Stargate, a Dark Shrine, and also
HongUn,
a robotics.
He's like making Blink too. I'm like, oh, HongUn, you're doing 8 things at once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has like a Zealot and a Sentry with that. I don't know how you get the Sentry. Oh, I know how you get the Sentry. Half his probes are long-distance mine. The gas is natural. No!
Well, maybe HongUn's learned, or maybe, to not do that crazy style, or maybe he's learned how to make it work. I don't know. We'll see. Or, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe he'll surprise us. I'm hoping.
I hope so, too. So good to be here with you guys. It's been a few days since we had casted, so it's good to be back. We're rested. We're wearing our special casting blazers, which make us cast faster.
They're bulletproof.
They're bulletproof, yeah.
Someone comes in and tests it and shoots me and I die, and it's like, it was a joke, guys.
Some guy shows him, he's like, it's tasting our dust, and shoots Dan. You ever notice when people get shot in movies, there's only 2 ways people get shot.
Yeah.
One is where the guy's like, and he usually falls off a balcony.
The other one, he just stands there.
No. What happens is he gets shot, and he's like, and then he's like, and he dies like that. But there's no in between.
No in between.
There is no in between.
Jesus doesn't compromise, folks.
There is HongUn. He's got a really crazy way of playing StarCraft 2. It works in Protoss versus Terran. It works in Protoss versus Zerg. Historically has had a tough time in Protoss versus Protoss.
As you see, man, 0% victories there. His PvPs against MC. That was the most one-sided series ever. Ever.
Yeah, literally ever. Although I think actually that might be rivaled by the series we just saw there.
I disagree. It's like 8 Stalkers and 2 Zealots walk up his ramp. He has a Dark Shrine and 3 units. It's like, well, I don't know. I think that's more one-sided than...
the DTs chase the Stalkers, but the Stalkers are faster than them, so they just keep shooting the probes. I'm like, oh, this is so painful to see. All right, so this is, again, HongUn from the Team Prime. Players like Marine King.
He has such a long history in the GSL. He's been every single GSL, never failed to Code A.
Yeah, I respect this.
Yeah, he's a very strong player overall, but it's just, he's so off and on. The thing is, he hits his maximum right around here every time. He just hits someone, and it's like, well, this player actually gets you on, and they understand what's going on.
It's like watching somebody put a rocket pack on and then, get really high, into the atmosphere, and then he just turns off his boosters because his strats, I think, they do have their limitations. Now here is the fan favorite. There's MC.
Going crazy for
look
him.
at him.
Versus Protoss, he is 10-1. It's pretty insane. In fact, Alicia in the GSL is the only person that has taken him out. Of course, in foreign tournaments, we
And
have had the
there
amazing
is-
Huck take him out.
Yeah, there is no shame in losing to Alicia. Alicia is
No,
damn
Alicia's the
smart.
best, man. Absolutely.
The best around. No one's gonna ever let you down. You ever watch Karate Kid?
Yeah, man, of course.
Here's the problem with karate, Artosis.
Okay.
All right,
What is
when
the
they,
problem?
When they break boards,
Yeah?
it's like a guy's like, I can break 8 boards. I'm like, well, that's great if you're attacked by boards. Okay.
Well, I have nothing to say to that, Tasteless. You just solved it.
That's why I specialize in fighting with my net and trident. Some guys use
yeah.
sword and shield. Some guys use battle axe.
No, man, that's
no,
great.
I'm the dude with the net and trident.
And you can become a fisherman if fighting doesn't work out.
Yes.
Spear your fish, use the net to catch some.
Sometimes at the beach, someone says, my God, is that Poseidon coming out of the sea? No, it's Tasteless with his net and trident. All right, over here, as you can see, I mean, MC's pretty good.
Yeah, HongUn.
HongUn all losses versus Protoss. Now, that could change. Sometimes you see this kind of like, with Stork. Like, Stork sort of had a weird way of playing the game, StarCraft 1, and then all of a sudden he figured out how to make it work.
You know, I think that HongUn, he's been sitting around with PvP, practicing it, getting ready. He's had plenty of time to prepare good builds. I hope that he can surprise us here today. I don't know. We'll see if he does.
Well, look, I think HongUn has a better chance of doing well against MC than Coca did against Nesty. Yeah, I'm right.
Maybe.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So we'll see, but I mean, look at the bottom part of this list. Look at who's actually beaten NT as a PvP. Any players like any pro,
Ace,
Inca,
Huck.
Huck. Yeah, that's
Kidding me?
pretty scary.
Indeed it is.
But then again, I guess the people that HongUn has lost to, when you consider how deep he's getting into these tournaments, I mean, Trickster, MC, and Genius, and Tails. I mean, Sonic has been coaching him in PvP for a while.
I know, man. And he doesn't even get hit by enemies.
Knuckles,
I mean,
a
you
Terran
just-
player. Here's the thing,
follows
though.
you around.
Knuckles isn't that good.
I
Knuckles is like, I'm going to randomly glide through this level.
never really played the one with Knuckles in them.
There was one Sonic that they had.
I'm a total Sonic.
There was
hipster,
one
man.
Sonic-
It's all
you're-
about Sonic Hedgehog 1.
There was a Sonic where they had like a bunch of additional other characters. And I think it was on Sega CD. I believe it was on Sega CD. Did you ever watch the Sonic cartoon?
Of course, all
That
the time.
kicked ass.
It really did.
It really actually did.
And then you watch an episode nowadays, and you're like, oh my god, I was a
Sonic
brainless
was
child.
like, he's really rude. Sonic, he's got an attitude.
Yeah.
Sonic, he's the fastest thing alive.
Oh, I can't believe you remembered all that.
I'm good.
You are so impressive.
Our map is Zelnaga Caverns. They both eliminated Belshire Beach.
Yeah.
Not
These guys
beach guys.
don't like the sun.
I don't like the sun either.
The sun
I
doesn't like
can't
me.
believe you watched the Sonic cartoon.
Of course, man. I'm cool.
It was a good. For the time, it was a good cartoon. I
It's like I
have not
actually
watched it.
I don't know what Taste is talking about.
And I think there's also some really crappy anime Sonics, which I get the tasteless thumbs down. I'm afraid.
thumbs down.
Yeah. I just did that. All right, it's time. HongUn, one of the most creative. Actually, I would just go ahead and say one of the top 3 most creative Protosses we have here in the GSL, up against MC. Currently, the greatest Protoss on Earth, the Kratos Protoss. Can HongUn do it? Or will facts and history side with MC? I guess I should say history, facts. One way to say that. All right, let's do this. Over here, in the upper right, a very stalker-intensive Protoss in all matchups.
Prime V.
Except for that one game where he
Except for
made
that-
no stalkers and a bunch of
We won't
Colossus
talk about
against
that.
Terran.
Yes, yes. Oh, look at that. That's HongUn sporting some sick scruff. Look
It
at
looks
that.
like a cross between HongUn and Tasteless.
Yeah. And a Simpsons character. Over here in the bottom left.
OJS MC.
So a cross between HongUn, Tasteless, and any pro then.
Oh, well said. MC Gosu. What?
Oh my.
All right.
All right. Got some
He like
interesting
just threw a
sides of there
face,
today.
so he's like, I don't have to show my face. I'm going to show what my face will probably look like. I was smiling to the camera. Thank you to Pepsi, Ola, and G-Skill for making this tournament possible.
Yeah, our new sponsor, Olay ebook. Pretty thankful to them. Jumping in, sponsoring. So both players scouting at the moment. HongUn actually scouted for some proxies before going out, so his scout's going to be there just a little bit later. So far, exactly the same builds out of both players. Quite standard.
And here comes that probe. Notice from the scouting patterns, he did check to make sure that, in fact, there was no proxy gateway.
Yep.
That's actually... Is that bad placement with that core?
Yeah, I wonder if it will slow down the gas. I don't think I've ever put my core
I don't
right
know
there.
about this, Sartosis.
Well, we will see. That actually may be giving something away.
Yeah, because I mean, basically, if I looked at that, I'm like, all right, you're gonna. Yeah, even the observer's looking at it now.
It's. Yeah, I think that it might.
Well, here's
be
the
bad
problem.
placement.
It doesn't matter if he's just going to do a 4-warp gate rush, except that he's basically showing MC that he's not going to use the second gas.
Yeah, it's that comboed with the fact that there's a ton of saved up chrono boost. Definitely.
That's not how you
tasteless.
do it.
So MC should be doing a defensive 4-warp gate build this game.
I'm hoping that that is not just one of the worst moves that you could do in a PvP opener, and it actually is something that we're going to learn is pretty cool. But right now, yeah, I don't see that as anything but giving away your strategy. What?
And a second gas.
Now
So
hold that thought, Artosis.
we're gonna have to see.
He might have been trying to trick him in a way of basically being like, all right,
I can't accept it.
what the hell is going on? He canceled the gas. Now he's making. Did he show him that? I'm confused.
No, he did not.
I don't understand the world.
No, nothing makes sense anymore, Tasteless. I have no idea why he made that gas and canceled. Totally crazy.
This is like putting socks on your hands crazy.
And
Those
I'm
go
not
on
talking
your
about
feet.
sock puppets.
No,
Tasteless.
that's kind of crazy. But no, I'm talking about like I'm just gonna wear shoes on my hands because I'm crazy.
Walk around on your hands.
I'm gonna tape a
Don't be a
hat to my
hand walker,
butt.
Tasteless.
I'm taping a hat to my butt. You're crazy. All right, here comes the pylon. He wants to get rid of that probe.
So HongUn actually has already lost his probe. MC does have a probe out there, and MC just getting so far ahead of HongUn. HongUn's rush has already kind of failed. I mean, he's going to have his 4-warp gates. He has got 2 stalkers fighting against one right now that we're not quite showing you because it's embarrassing. That one stalker got owned, but there you go. He is warping in a few. MC
Now,
should be able to warp in just a moment.
Oh, but if he gets that one pylon, that could actually mess everything up. That could actually supply block him.
Yeah, that's actually true.
And
It
it
is
will.
going to supply block him. Oh my god. And suddenly, somehow, some way, HongUn doing a great job. And there is a pylon on the way. But that is bad,
yeah,
man.
he just can't warp in more
That's
stuff.
really bad. And here come the Zealots. And wow,
What the hell?
It's hard for me to comprehend what's going on right
He
now.
should have warped his stalkers, and MC should have closer to the entrance so they could just defend. I think he was afraid of them taking damage as they warp in, but
Well, HongUn has sent one Zealot to the mineral line. Right now, he's microing quite finely. More Stalkers coming in, and it's now 3 Stalkers to 4. More Zealots out for HongUn as well, and
What?
GG. And it all comes down to killing that pylon.
HongUn, doing a few stretches there, a few rolls with his wrist. Saying, all right.
He got completely out-microed while he was laying down pylons. With 2 pylons down there, lost his probe,
This is
lost
MC's
his Zealot,
fault. That is-
started to lose a Stalker, and then he had this nice quick warping round. MC had a pylon near the ramp, which is quite common. His gates were a little bit slower.
You're supposed to have one at the ramp.
Yeah, he didn't quite get his units in time to prevent that pylon from dying. And as soon as you become supply blocked in a PvP like that, oh, that's bad, Tasteless. It takes a while
pretty
for a
much
pylon
can't
to make.
recover for that. From that, excuse me. I mean, it just starts
So-
to avalanche out of control.
Yeah.
And HongUn, clearly this is not going to be as one-sided as our first series we saw.
No, it's not. I mean, he's already taken a game. That's pretty impressive. You got to hand it to him.
Well played.
Yeah.
And MC, the Kratos Protoss.
He knows what he did wrong, though, MC.
No, he knows
okay.
exactly what happened in that game.
Now-
But, go ahead.
Our next map, Tall Darim Altar. And this map is interesting cases because you're either going to go 4 Warp Gate. Most of the time it's going to be 4 Warp Gate just because there's no way to stop your opponent advancing with force fields. And the only thing that you kind of can go against that, and there's timings for 4 Warp Gate to punish it, is Blink Stalkers.
Yeah.
So if we see anything else that's an ultra metagame move where you're like, well, I think he'll go Blink Stalker, so I'm going to do this. Everything aside from Blink Stalkers 100% will die to a well-executed 4 Gate.
We might see something like that coming from HongUn here because you know what? He did not do his kind of eccentric playing style. He went with the standard build. Now would be a good time to maybe try to pull one of those out. MC knows what he did wrong. And the game is actually loading, so we're going to do this now. Game number 2, HongUn against MC. Can HongUn do the impossible and take down the Kratos Protoss? Let's find out.